Welcome to the channel. We are Claire and Paul Knight, a soon-to-be married 40-something couple from the UK. We have been on a 15-year journey seeking an alternative to the 9 to 5. From day one of the journey, our aim was to travel in our van. We are travelling with Bobby, our three-legged cat, and Shap, our very relaxed Alaskan Malamute cross collie. Join us on our quest to travel in our 31-year-old camper van, the Poshbird.
So one of the modifications for van life that I was really adamant on doing was sorting out a bed, because at the moment we this is our bed. Shap sleeps up that end where Claire stood natty, and then we pull these. It's a nightmare. Literally, it's a nightmare. So you have to, this moves down, all the pillows come down, all the cushions move around. It's like Jenga or something, or Krypton Factor. You know, my big concern is that if we're wild camping, which we're hoping to do mostly, and we get the knock on the door at night and asked to move on, literally we'd have a dog there, all of this would be an absolute nightmare. So I didn't want to do that. So we've got this up here. And all the motorhomes and campers we've had before, we've always had somewhere we've called the coop, where we can kind of go up, throw all our bed in and stuff, climb up there, sleep, and then come down, and the rest of it's not chaos. So I was really keen to replicate that. This van comes with this, but this really is designed for kids. It's like it's pretty small, really. I mean, you can get up there, but literally you've got no headroom at all. So what I've been thinking about is that I want to make this so it's got a bit of a slide out, so you sleep here with your feet down that end and your head up this end. So the plan is that there's going to be a piece here which is going to be like a headboardy bit, which will slide out 1/2 metre to here. There's going to be 2 supports that come out, and then a ladder that goes down, which is the final support in the middle of it. So that will pull out. There'll be another piece of cushion that goes on that, and then we'll have an over the topper foam mattress topper, whatever they're called, over the top of that. We've got one that's really thin, so we might look at a better one. I was thinking about putting shelves up over those silly little windows that are up there, which would be absolutely no use anymore unless you want to look out the window with your feet, because that's where our feet are going to be. So I'm thinking that I might, because they're single glazing, I'm thinking I might foam those up, do away with them completely, and put shelves or some sort of a clothing storage box or something up on each side. But I was thinking about it this morning and wondering if we're up here, the width of this is the same as a small double. But the problem is your head's this end, your feet are that end, so if one of us wants to get out, you've got to get your feet end, that end. And then if there's cupboards each side, no one can retreat into the corner to allow that motion to happen. So I'm thinking that we're going to do the bed bit first, lie on it and see if we can negotiate getting our feet up this end and getting down the ladder before we put the shelves up. We could put little tiny shelves up that allow you to kind of slide your bum underneath the shelves or something like that. I don't know, we'll come up with something. But the first part of this is to create this slide out, if you like, bed that comes out. Now, I've got a plan. I've had 2 plans. The first plan was having a big 8x4 piece of plywood going that way, and then using plywood in other places and stuff like that, so it all like fitted lovely. And then I priced up the plywood. It's like, no thank you, we're not doing that. So I've rejigged it based on cost. And this is the new plan. So what we're going to have is a piece of plywood that sits on here, that is, so it's 1 piece of plywood, not 2, 1, which will go back 122 that way, and the 8-foot bit will run this way, but obviously it will be cut to fit here, which is 135, which is the width of a small double. So that will sit on there. That side of there, oh, it's 18mm ply as well, which is even cheaper. and I looked at it in the shop and bent it around and it looked fine, so I'm sure it's going to be okay. Might be a bit bouncy, but it'll be alright. So that one piece is going to be cut. There's going to be a I'm going to confuse everyone here, so it'll make sense as I'm doing it, but so the piece will lie on here. So we're going 122 back that way, 8 foot cut down to 135 this way, so it's almost a square in here. That will run on this here. There's going to be a frame built in here, a small frame in here, which will have the legs that come out as well on there. And then that side of the of this piece of wood will be 2 pieces that run along the length of here and here, right up against here. So that'll be on there. This then sits on those bits here, which will raise this by 18 mil, which is the size of our plywood. So you'll end up with a frame here, a gap here of 18 mil. So our piece of wood will slide in here and go all the way back. Now I've looked at it, and it's when it's out at 50 centimetres, half a metre, there's still 70 centimetres underneath the frame and all this, which is going to be bolted down. So this can't move. So this is the solid bit at the top, the frame, and this is the solid bit at the bottom. So it's like a sandwich, can't go anywhere, hopefully. That's the theory. Yeah, so then it could slide in and out, and then you, like I say, you'll be able to pull out these 2 legs on hinges as supports this end, just to stop that, and then there'll be one ladder that sits in the middle that will stop that bit there. That's the plan anyway. So I've ordered the plywood, that's coming tomorrow, and I've got this frame now to I was going to take this out originally, but I like the ends of this and stuff, so what I'm going to try and do is wood underneath here, solid wood underneath there. So I'm going to put the frame inside of that. So it's going to mean a bit of chamfering to make it fit. So there's going to be a frame here with 2 centre supports, across here with 2 legs that come out. So that's the bit I'm going to do today. So I'm going to crack on with that now, and I'll video it a little bit and show you where we're going with it. And then I'm going to call that 125, and it'll be nice and tight in there then, which would be good. Hopefully, if it needs a little bit more off, I'll do it. 125, like I said. Yeah, measure twice, cut once. So to maintain that trim that we had in there, I've had to cut this to fit around that trim, because the remember the inside of the trim went round like that. So that's what I'm up to now. I need 2 of them, exactly the same length. So I've just got them out.
Can't you keep it down a bit?
Have that tape measure.
Where is it?
Down by your foot. Right, so this was what I was rabbiting on about in the first bit of this video. So this now, being solid wood underneath, it's going to be bolted down through this piece here, the side pieces, and then into the actual van itself on both sides, and then that will provide a gap under here. So this will be able to work like a runner underneath, and that will come out to our 50 centimetres. You may notice that this idea I had of these, I've gone away from that. Reason being is that I haven't been able to find any hinges. I found these hinges that had, they feel really good when they're not attached to anything. But as soon as you attach them to something, they've got play left and right. And for this, you'd have to have it really solid. So yeah, that ain't gonna work. But we're gonna put a good headboard on here, which will stop the flex that way. So the only flex you'll have to deal with is that way, and there's gonna be a ladder set underneath here. So there's no flex support here. I think it's gonna be fine. I'll just pull that out to show you what it will look like. So there'll be a headboard on here with some handles on it to pull this out. But that's basically what it's going to do. I'll have a headboard here, and then we've got to get another piece of foam to go on here. The ladder, like I say, is going to be under there as support. We'll have like a headboard mounted on the end of here in a minute, which will hopefully slot nicely into here, and it will come down here so we can exit to get down the ladder. That's bolted down. That should be pretty solid then. At the end of the day, most of your body's over that frame that I've built in here, and it's only your head really that's going to be here. Your pillows are here, aren't they? So it's the only time really there's going to be a bit of weight on there is when you're climbing down. You'll come down the ladder. So up the side, back in there. this now is in daytime mode, so this is how we'll travel. We've got this piece of 3-inch foam here, which is the bit that goes in when you've slid it out. Then we've got a cover coming for that one, but as everything in mail at the post at the minute seems to be taking forever, so that's not turned up. But yeah, so that just slots in. So I'll just run through how we set the bed up now. Remember, the reason we were doing this was so we didn't have to do this whole shenanigans down here every time we want to go to bed or put it away. So when we're ready to go to bed, grab our pillows, put them down, grab the ladder. Very important to do first because you can't reach it afterwards. And then slide her out. Put the ladder in. And then reach over and fold that down. Cushions in place. On bed. It's not the massivest bed in the world, but you've got plenty of headroom. Obviously your legs then go up underneath. So we're well happy with that. So like I was saying, one of the main reasons for doing this was so we didn't have to faff around with this each time. So I'll put it back to daytime mode now and show you how easy that is to do. So slide bolts out, remove the old ladder, off of the pillows, and then this one literally folds over but stays in the same place. So when we need it, just pulls back out again. Slide that one back in. Ladder sits over there. And cushions back in there. Right. So the other thing that we did, we had two slits running down the side. They're like they were just glass windows, silly little things. So I've used some insulation board and we've blanked them off completely, because at the end of the day your feet are going to be down here, not your head, so it don't really need that much light. We've obviously we've got this skylight here, which will be lovely in the summer when it's really hot. But in the winter, I've fitted this. So that slides up, and that's a piece of underfloor insulation board, that's all that is. And then that completely blanks that off, stops the cold coming through obviously, and blanks the light out as well. So that's the underside of it. You can see the little slots there where you put your hands in to pull it out. And I've carpeted all of the frame that was put in at the top there. Apart from the sliding board, obviously I couldn't cover that, so I don't know, I haven't decided with that yet. I might varnish it or something, just give it a bit of treatment. But obviously that needs to free slide. Thank you so much for joining us on our very first Nights in Our Van video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We've got lots more videos coming, especially when we're trying to get this van ready to go. We fitted a new diesel heater in, so that'll be next week's video. So until then, thank you very much and good night.